Are you longing for deeper connection and real community? I'll never look at a full moon the same way after being part of this. Ready to discover the Sacred Kingdom difference? This Friday, July 11th from 6 to 9 p.m. EST, the Sacred Kingdom community is gathering online for a one-of-a-kind, live-streamed full moon event. It's totally free, streaming on YouTube's Sacred Light Broadcast Network and Sacred Kingdom, plus Facebook at Christolight Robbins. Here's what's in store. Start with a gentle mind, body, and emotions self-scan, guided breath clearing, and relaxation led by Marcus Christolight. Then, let Lunar Queen open the doors to insight with a white light oracle reading. And don't miss Jess Sage's signature heart activation, perfect for tuning in to this powerful full moon energy. Bring your journal, a cup of tea, your favorite crystals, and cozy up wherever you are. You can join the conversation in live comments, ask questions, or even hop onto the stream for a live reading or energy clearing. This event is donation-based, with every contribution supporting our 3 kingdom members. We believe in sharing abundance and empowering each other because community is where true transformation happens. If you're curious about one-on-one healing, crystals, or our growing community, check out our link page for more. So let's revolutionize the way we use technology and love together, under the glow of the full moon. Will you join us?
Hello, grand day everybody, and welcome to this first ever live streaming edition of the Sacred Kingdom Full Moon Activation event. My name is Marcus Christolight. I am the founder, I am the host of the Sacred Kingdom community, as well as Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. And a little bit about the Sacred Kingdom community, for those of you that may not be aware yet, is that we are a tribe, we are a community, worldwide, international, in multiple different countries that have came together through the call of our passions, of our higher purpose, and the visions that we have for what we want as a new earth together. So with that, we, with our diversity, our skill, excuse me, this is a good time for a hydration check for everybody. Make sure you guys are drinking good water throughout this session. So, with that, we all came together to collaborate and build this community together called the Sacred Kingdom. And we bring all of our different gifts and skills and experiences to the table, and we share them. And not just that, but we also co-create spaces online as well as locally and in other areas around the world for us to be able to share these gifts for you so that you guys can acquire the knowledge, the tools, the wisdom, and the human connection more than anything that helps you feel more authentic, helps you feel more safe, helps you feel like you fit in and that you have a purpose in this world here on Earth. And that just really scrapes the surface of the intentions and what it is that we do as a sacred community together. So I want to thank you guys all that are going to be tuning in, whether it's live or it's on the replay, Facebook or YouTube. Thank you guys all for joining us tonight for this 3-hour event on this full moon in Capricorn. And I just want to remind us as well a little bit about what the full moon is and what the moon is. So in Egyptian shamanic astrology, we can go to the archetype named Khonsu. And Khonsu is representative of the moon in ancient Egypt. And Khonsu represents our subconscious emotional field, as well as paying attention to what it is that we may be overextending or being codependent with when it comes to our emotional energy. So with that, we reflect and deep dive within our emotional field, and we sense, listen, and tune in to what it is that is organically needing to process for us, whether it's an attachment, a cord, a wounding, pain that we are holding on to. Or perhaps it's just amplifying and activating more of our creativity, more of our manifestations, and continuing to boost our positive traits. So with that, Capricorn also represents creative expansion, moving forward, taking adventures into the mystery and the unknown. So you combine these together, and a lot of us may be experiencing a lot of creative bursts. We may be experiencing a lot of new connections, and we may be experiencing a lot of kind of dreamlike shifts taking place. So just know that it's no coincidence and that everything is divinely designed, and you're experiencing exactly what you need to right now, and you are called to be here in this moment. So with that being said, the way that this space is going to flow is that this space is going to kick off with myself, Marcus Christolight. And for those of you that don't really know me yet, here in a moment, we'll do some introductions between myself as well as Jess Sage and our other wonderful member, Sarah, that will be joining us here in a bit. So Ali, Lunar Queen, she was going to be joining us to do a white light oracle. She has to take care of one of her kiddos. So we have Sarah stepping up, and she'll be most likely talking about either herbs or QHHT and other wide array of things. So to kick off, I will be guiding us through a self-scan. And with this self-scan, I guide us with the breath through self-examination of the mind, the emotions, and the physical body. And we breathe love, and we breathe healing with our own breath into these areas as I guide you through it. I'll also be striking the singing bowl as well, so that you may receive the healing and sound healing frequencies infused within it. And then I'll invite you to journal. So if you would like to grab your journals, feel free to grab your journals for tonight. Grab any pen or a pencil, and feel free to grab any snacks. Grab some tea, grab some water, burn some sage, build a crystal grid maybe for the full moon. I know the peak was yesterday, but today we are still close to the peak of the full moon, and we're still experiencing a little bit of that energy. So just get yourself comfortable, just like you would any other time when you come to a beautiful, fun, and sacred space. And feel free to participate in the comments throughout this. This is also a live Q&A, so ask questions about something you may be moving through. Ask questions about mental health, emotional health, boundaries, and other conscious ways of life throughout this session. So after the self check-in, and I will also pull a oracle card for us as well to complement our journaling. We will then transition around 7 p.m. Eastern to Sarah taking Lunar Queen's spot. And Sarah will kind of be surprising us for what it is that she's going to offer. But I'm sure it'll be somewhere along the lines of herbs, QHHT, or something else regarding maybe the lymph system as well. And then after that, around 7:45, 7:50, we'll actually keep a window open for anybody in the audience that would like to either come onto the live screen to ask questions or share, or if you would like to even potentially receive a reading on the screen. So that'll be around 7:45 until about 8 o'clock. And then at 8 o'clock, we will then have Jess Sage, and she'll be doing a heart activation with the full moon for us. And then we'll close out after that. So you guys can watch this on a replay if you're not able to catch the whole thing. And this will be on the YouTube channels, Sacred Light Broadcast Network, as well as the Sacred Kingdom. So with that being said, if anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. And I'll also go ahead and welcome onto the screen our divine sister, Jess Sage of Akuna's Dream. And we will introduce ourselves a little bit for you guys. Welcome on, Jess. Good to see you.
Hello, thank you for having me. So my name is Jessica Sage. You can call me Jessica or Jess. I go by either one. And my business name is Akuna's Dream. And that is because I kind of had this thought that if our infinite selves, the part of us that lives on when we're no longer in these physical forms, if that part of ourself, if that version of ourself, does it have a name when it is in between physical incarnations? And so I kind of just put that out there, like, does my infinite self have a name? And about 6 months later, when I was kind of daydreaming, the name Akuna came to me. And I won't go deep into how that happened, but I just heard it in my mind and then I saw it, and it means to know or to follow. So it is really a name. It's not usually spelt with an H on the end, but that's how I saw it. So that's how I spell it. And I call my business Akuna's Dream, or I could call myself Akuna's Dream, because as Jessie, as this physical incarnation that I am in this lifetime, I am the dream of my infinite self. So I am the dream of Akuna. Jessie is the dream of Akuna. And of course, I am my infinite self. But in this lifetime, I am Jessie. So in this lifetime, I am the living, breathing dream of Akuna. So that's where Akuna's Dream came from. And I have been building my business and offering my heartfelt offerings for the last 5 years. I am a yoga teacher. I do body work, which I call nurturing touch. I do energy work, and I really, really love leading healing ceremonies and teaching workshops that really empower people to heal themselves, because I really do believe that we all have the power to heal ourselves, whether it be something in our physical body, something in the mind, something in the heart, whatever layer of our existence we're experiencing some type of dis-ease. I do believe that we have the power to bring ourselves back into our wholeness, because we are already and always whole. And we are always worthy. We are always worthy of healing. So my mission is to really empower people and to inspire people through the work that I do, to remind them that they are capable of healing, to remind people that they are worthy of healing, and to help show people how they can heal themselves, and also how we can heal within community. Because even though we can't all heal ourselves, I also really believe in the power of healing when we all come together. So unity and being in community is one of the most healing things that I think that any of us can do, because this world is really built on this idea of separation. So anytime we can bring ourselves back into that unity consciousness, back into that oneness and that wholeness, then we're really on the path to healing. So I say that my business is healing arts and art that heals. I am also an artist. I love to paint and to draw. I love to use embroidery and other forms of fabric for art. And honestly, I just do whatever I feel called to do when it comes to art. So I'm not, I don't put myself in a box of one type of art. And a lot of people say, oh, I'm a fine artist. So I kind of joke around and say I'm a messy artist. And I'll share with you one of my little paintings. This is a print of a painting I did. I call this Heart of Gaia. Heart of Gaia. And I call these heart portals because I painted these on a eclipse portal. And I do believe that our heart is a portal. So when we get to the heart activation that I'll be leading later, I will talk more about how our heart is a portal, our heart is a gateway. And when we tap into the power of our heart, not only does it transform ourselves, not only will we transform our own lives, but we will also be transforming this world and helping to make the world a more loving place for all by choosing to tap into the heart and to embody love. So that's a little bit about who I am and what I do. And if what I'm saying resonates with you, you can find me on social media as Akuna's Dream. And I also have a YouTube channel as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Jess. I am really grateful to share this space tonight with you, and I look forward to your heart activation, as that's always been one of my favorite things to attend whenever I'm in the same space as you. And myself and Jess, we go back to a couple of different festivals and events locally here in Ohio. And for those of you that are local in the Ohio area or anywhere in the Midwest, we do travel to different festivals, events, retreats, and many other wonderful sacred spaces around pretty much like the Midwest area, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Kentucky, all sorts of areas. And we're looking to also expand to other areas out west, down south, and soon to be in other countries as well. So, with that being said, I'll go ahead and move into my intro. And then after my intro, I'll just go ahead and transition us into the self scan check in and the oracle reading. And then after that, Sarah will go ahead and hop on, and that will be right around 7 p.m. Eastern for you guys. So, Jess, thank you again. I'll go ahead and slide you off the screen, and then I'll pull you back on here in a little bit later.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you. All righty. So, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and move into our self scan check in. So, I'm going to go ahead and put on some frequencies for us. And if you guys would like, feel free to go ahead and get yourself comfortable for this self scan. And for the self scan, you just want to have your back and your spine nice and straight if you're sitting to the best of your ability. And then we'll relax our shoulders down to the side. Relax the toes on the ground. And relax our fingers. And relax our jaw. Making sure we're not clenching our teeth, not grinding, holding on to any pressure or tension. Feel free to wiggle the body, move the arms, move your neck, whatever you may feel, just to loosen. And then we'll go ahead and bring our focus to the breath. And for this practice, we're going to go ahead and breathe in through our nose. Draw the breath down the body to the earth. And then exhale out of the mouth. Breathing in through the nose, down the body to the earth, exhaling out of the mouth. It's continuing to focus on this breath patiently and gracefully at your own speed and your own rate, knowing there's no right or wrong to how fast or how slow. Let's continue to focus on this breath as we are now going to make our way to observing the mind. Breathing into the mental body. So we are now going to observe if there are any limited belief patterns, if there are any negative thought forms, if there is any self-judgment that is swirling through the mind. May we allow ourselves to observe, not attach, to remember the breath as unconditional love as we breathe through the mind. Breathing through the mind, releasing the negative thought forms, the limited beliefs. And as we continue to observe, we observe if there are any attachments to the past, if there are any memories within our mind that are continuing to bother, resist, and cause tension in our being. Continuing to ride the waves of the breath, feeling its natural cycle. We begin to breathe. Now give ourselves positive reminders. We may now give ourselves affirmations and any other positive mental energy in this moment. As we continue to breathe, we now make our way into our emotional body. We are now dropping into our feeling. And as we breathe into the emotional body, we observe if there is any stagnation, any blockages, or resistance within our emotional field. Breathing through the emotions, allowing them to become more fluid, allowing our emotions to flow. Remembering that this moment, that this space is sacred and is made for you to express, to transform, to alchemize with unconditional love. Staying with the breath as we clear our emotional body, raising our frequency with every breath, letting go of emotional cords, as well as attachments. And as we breathe and clear, we naturally, organically begin to have more creative energy, more vitality, more passion flowing from our lower chakras. Now we make our way to focusing on the physical body, allowing ourselves to breathe through every layer, from the cells to the skin, to the muscles, the tissues, the ligaments, the bones, the blood, the neurons. Breathing through all layers of our physical anatomy. Softening the body with every breath. Relaxing and soothing the brain and the muscles. Clearing our stream of our blood. Regulating our nerves with every breath we take. Feeling our biofield realigning our bones, our tissue and ligament. Breathing and letting go of the stored energies. And now with that, patiently making your way back to your physical body and becoming present in your environment and allowing yourself to feel this renewed energy, this balancing of the mind, body, emotions. Namaste, and thank you to all of you for sharing that space. So with that, I will go ahead and invite us to now grab our journals and organically feel free to journal out anything within the mind, the body, or the emotions that has arisen for you and could use more focus, and more unconditional love. This could be mental patterns, negative thoughts, sabotage, resentment, anger, grudges, and it could also be where we may be giving ourselves too much or a communication boundary. So I invite you with your journals to explore any areas of yourself that you would like to bring out and bring forward for releasing and unconditional love as we continue to explore this journey tonight. And I always invite everybody while they're journaling to remember to give themselves grace. Try not to judge ourselves while we're journaling. Try to be neutral as an observer. And along with the journaling of this experience or what it is that you may be journaling, feel free to also consider journaling out what steps you can take, what goals you can create, or strategies that you can take on to help you towards this journaling prompt. And if you are looking for specific guidance or there are questions that you would like to ask, feel free to drop them in the comments. And I'm sure myself or any other members that catch your comment can give you some guidance or feedback for you. So with that, I am going to also go ahead and pull a oracle card for us to help complement the process of our journaling. And this is going to be from the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck. So this connects to the ancient Lemurian ancestral codes. And you do have some chakra cards, as well as other different Lemurian guides throughout this deck. Whoa, went all the way over there. Okay. So our collective card for this sacred space tonight is going to be Crystal Keys. Number 55. And it's actually 22, not 55. I saw it a little bit backwards in the mirror. All right. So number 22, Crystal Keys. This is hidden wisdom codes, potent information, Lemurian seed crystals, seeing your gifts, seeing your triggers as a gift, awareness of drama creating patterns, healing the earth by looking at your inner environment, healing through awareness. Wow. So we have Lemurian quartz crystals are special pieces of clear quartz with intended ridges running across them. They are known as seed crystals because they are said to have been found individually, buried in sand and earth, rather than attached to a larger cluster, the way most crystals are. But where their oncoming destruction, the Lemurians imbued information about how to avoid a similar catastrophe on crystals and buried them. The ridges on the crystals are believed to be Lemurian inscriptions. These crystals are reappearing now as this knowledge is again relevant. That's pretty interesting. If you guys look here at this Lemurian quartz crystal here, you can see the ridges that it is speaking upon in the side of the crystal. You see them right there from moving my finger. So they say those encryptions, or they say that those ridges are encryptions, basically. So the card is about deciphering wisdom codes. We may wonder how to access information regarding our spiritual growth as we navigate our everyday reality. This wisdom comes through inner paradoxes. When we are truly present, awed, in creative flow, or a state of surrender, it may come as riddles and in the most unlikely places. Zen Buddhism taps into this using koans, paradoxical statements the mind cannot fathom. To bypass traditional understanding and allow spiritual empathy, a deeper knowledge of the soul to surface. Key wisdom codes can come to us when we are triggered. They are accessible in those moments when everything becomes more emotional, dramatic, or painful than it needs to be. Here, when light shines in our shadows, we are graced with significant insight into places we can grow and evolve from. Although it might take courage and a healthy dose of self-awareness to embrace the wisdom of those moments, it's amazing how much energy, freedom, and expansion comes as a result of deciphering these bubbles of information, tailored especially for us. Sometimes insight is so perfectly constructed within a scenario that it gets right into our most tender spots for the perfect healing. These are potent codes, as all personal power struggles and ego problems affect the bigger picture of how the world operates. Our shadows are unresolved wisdom codes. Avoidance makes them spiral out to aid in the construction of a world we don't actually want, both individually and collectively. When we see this information as the gift that it is, we can cultivate presence and begin to see between the lines of our inner workings. The world needs as much light as possible, so we do not have a repeat of what happened at Lemuria. Let's allow ourselves to see our shadows as an opportunity to bring more light into our being and heal the world from these dark foundations. The divinatory meaning of number 22, crystal keys. Be inspired to find the wisdom hidden in those times when you feel triggered. There is so much information within our raw and intense reactions that when you choose to be present with what is coming up and peel back the layers, great spiritual insight will unveil itself in a way tailored just for you. If we could all learn to see our triggers in the bigger picture, so much confrontation and upset would be lessened. Power struggles and fear would be diminished, and we would see greater compassion across the planet. Perspective and misunderstanding would shift, and the way people want to be loved would be experienced without distortion. These are the seeds for peace on earth. Wow. What a beautiful message for us from the Beyond Lemuria Oracle deck. Crystal Keys, number 22, for everybody out there. So I just invite us to complement this card with what it is that you are journaling tonight. And feel free to process as you need, at your own pace and as you feel. Welcome in, Leslie. Thank you. That is one of my favorite decks, the Beyond Lemuria. And it's becoming a little bit more common than I thought. I'm finding it at more and more places with people having it. So it's really cool to see it spreading around. So with that, feel free to continue to process and journal as you feel. And while you do so, I'm going to kind of run through with you guys what I have coming up and give you guys some insight into what it is I offer and who I am, Marcus Christolight. So for those of you that don't know me yet, I am a multifaceted, holistic, you can say shamanic or quantum level practitioner, whichever you feel. And I offer multiple different Reikis. I also do light language activations. I educate and help with balancing the chakras. I also do subconscious reprogramming. I help with psychic enhancement and also enhancing our gifts and abilities to bring into the world. I also help cultivate healthy patterns, routines, and people shadow work with them. I am deeply passionate about giving people the tools, giving people the knowledge and the education of how it is that we can use holistic and conscious living in our everyday life so that we can all be empowered individually and be able to take these things into our own everyday life. And then we share it with our family, our friends, our community, and all of our loved ones. So along with that, I also help people tap into their starseed lineage and the Akashic records. I also developed my own unique practice regarding this called Akashic Soul Origin Meditations. And then I'm also a life guide, life coach, if you want to say. And I do one-on-one sessions. I help guide you through your patterns, your shadow work, and much more. Another part of me is also a producer and an editor. I run my own broadcast network, as you guys can see here, the Sacred Light Broadcast Network. And I stream other wonderful souls contents around the world alongside of mine. Along with that, I am a community host of the Sacred Kingdom. And the Sacred Kingdom, as I spoke on earlier, we are a worldwide tribe of like minds, practitioners, psychics, visionaries, and much more that are together to help create beautiful, beautiful sacred spaces. So with that being said, I am going to go ahead and hop on off of this screen. I'm going to go ahead and allow the next few minutes to just be a transition and break period before we bring Sarah on and Sarah takes over the space. And with that, there's going to be some promos, there's going to be some retreat previews, and some other things playing. So feel free to stay tuned and watch these previews and promos about the upcoming events and retreats. And we'll be getting started with Sarah. And Sarah will be sharing her segment of this space tonight. So thank you guys again for joining me in my part of this wonderful event tonight. I am Marcus Christolight of Sacred Light Healing and Wellness. You guys just reach out anytime, and I will help provide my services. Our founder claims, this right here is an embodied form of the violet ray spectrum. Tap in and tune in Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern, live on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Grand Rising with Christolight, your sacred space for discovering the Ascended Masters in crystal healing. Ashe.
Why do so many seekers say their lives changed after one weekend in nature? Could a drum beat really open your heart? Come find out at Soul Family Rising. On September 13th and 14th, journey with us to Lake Hope in the heart of Zaleski State Forest, Ohio, for a 2-night elemental drum medicine retreat like no other. Surrounded by ancient trees and fresh air, you'll step into a true soul family, where connection, healing, and laughter are all part of the rhythm. Our flow shops are led by an incredible team. Christina Cheyenne of Sacred Vibrations, Victoria Ann Ilg, Heather Lynn of Heart Alchemy Wellness, and Marcus Christolight of Sacred Light. They'll guide you in elemental practices that bring balance and clarity, tapping into earth, water, fire, air, and spirit. Plus, don't miss our special guest, Chuck Wilson of Walkin' Drums, a master shamanic drum maker whose drum flow shop is truly unforgettable. Whether you're new to drumming or a seasoned spirit traveler, you'll feel the power of rhythm to awaken and heal. All meals, blessed with love and gratitude by Grandmother Katie Singing Eagle, are included, with vegetarian options so everyone feels nourished. Bring your kids, your parents, your friends. This retreat is truly family-friendly, with ages 8 and under free, 9 to 16 just $20, and adults only $55 for the whole weekend. Camping, meals, flow shops, all covered. Just bring yourself, an open heart, and a sense of wonder. Space is limited, so register now by scanning the QR code or visiting the link on our flyer. Questions? Text Marcus Christolight at 513-238-5580. This September, let's rise together. Your soul family is waiting.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Sacred Kingdom Full Moon Live Activation. How are we feeling after that self-check-in, that journaling, and that oracle card? Take a moment and process with yourself and see how you're feeling in this moment. And just another reminder as well, hydration check for everybody. Drink that clean water. And with that being said, we are going to go ahead and now transition on over into our second space of this activation event on this wonderful Capricorn full moon. And that is going to be with Sarah Broadhead out of Arizona. And she is a wonderful mother. She is a holistic, herbal-based, conscious mother, that is. And she is filling in for Lunar Queen, who is going to be doing the White Light Oracle readings. So Sarah, welcome to the Full Moon Activation event.
Hello to everybody. Happy Full Moon Friday.
It is Friday. That's right. So since myself and Jess already introduced ourselves, feel free to introduce yourself, talk about your passions, the things that you love to do, what you provide and serve, and how people can connect with you.
Okay. Well, my name is Sarah. You've covered that one already. Sarah Broadhead. But my new and upcoming name is Shining Soul. Wellness and healing and wellness, however you want to say that. So anyway, yes, I am a normal human being. I'm conscious. I'm a conscious mother. I'm a very organic, natural person. I love herbs. I feel like herbs can save the world. I really, my passions are helping clean up the earth, helping clean up the food, helping clean up the medicine, and of course our own temples as well. They all kind of go together. I'm going down this journey of holistic healing and holistic living for a while, and I don't mean to sound, like, oh gosh, no, it's really just a matter of making different choices when the situations arise. It's a lot more simple than it really actually sounds. Instead of reaching for the ibuprofen, try a ginger poultice or something. I am a small business owner. I own a cleaning company, and I'm deciding to get out of that and follow my heart and my passions, and these are my passions. I love to help heal the world and help, spread the knowledge of how beneficial herbs are. Humans have grown up and evolved next to herbs for a very long time. They're kind of like a symbiosis type thing with us, and I really do truly believe that they're far superior than allopathic medicine and things that are on mainstream markets today. So that's who I am, and I'm an upcoming QHHT therapist as well. I'm just starting my practices. Along my journey, a woman named Dolores Cannon, many of us have heard of her, really made a mark on my life, on my world, my reality, and she just blew my mind. And I had never even heard of such a thing as QHHT therapy before. I just randomly came across this video one day on YouTube. And I thought, this is interesting. Let me check this out. And it was Dolores's video. I think it was called The 3 Waves of Volunteers or something. And I was blown away, by her technique, it was right on time with my own personal healing journey as well. So I found it very fascinating, and I decided to follow it. So, a little bit about me. I have made a lot of different passions of mine into my reality. I follow my heart with herbs, and I raise chickens, and I garden when I can. But most importantly, I just stay true to myself. Thanks, Marcus.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Sarah, for being you and hopping in last minute and joining us on this first ever live stream for this Sacred Kingdom Full Moon event. It's an honor to have you.
Yeah.
And I also want to say I'm proud of you because you've taken a lot of big steps lately in your life, and I've been able to witness your journey in the last few years, and you're doing really well. You're doing great at stepping into more of your passions and more of the things that I've known you been talking about for the last couple of years. So it's really wonderful to see your journey. And again, I just want to thank you for stepping up and coming in for Lunar Queen in this wonderful space tonight. And got some comments for you in the Facebook Live. You got Leslie Worthington saying hello to you. Good to see you.
Hi, Leslie.
Good old Rhonda,
Hey,
my
Rhonda.
queen. She says, I love Dolores Cameron.
Yeah.
And then
She's awesome.
Leslie also said that, Sarah, you are inspirational.
Oh, thank you, Leslie. So are you. We need to do another session together, seriously. I know Leslie from QHHT school. She's one of my fellow students. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yeah, so.
Well, that's really cool.
Yeah.
So
I should have a couple more sisters on here. Sorry. I invited a couple more people, so they might pop in.
Oh, awesome. Sounds good. Yeah, and again, if anybody has any questions or if anybody has anything to share in the comments, feel free. This is a live Q&A space. You guys can ask questions about your health. You can ask questions, but oh my gosh, I eat some peanuts, so I got like little peanut stuff in my throat right now.
Here, take a drink. I was gonna take a drink and I'll take over for a minute. So this is a little half impromptu on my part, but I thought, well, why not? I would love to talk with everybody and get involved today. It's such a beautiful day, beautiful energy out there. I had originally planned to have Marcus play a video by Edgar Casey, and he's talking about like his favorite like top herbs and plants for their spiritual and frequency and for their value, not just for decoration, right? And unfortunately, we can't get that video to play right now. Gotta love technology, right? Anyway, so I did take some notes on the video, and maybe Marcus could post the link down below after he posts this tonight. But we could talk about that, or I could also show you guys. I just literally maybe 10 minutes ago got a beautiful delivery from Lunar Queen's shop. I believe it's called Organic Essences, and she sells really beautiful pieces, gems and crystals. I have 5 gorgeous pieces here I would love to show you as well. And maybe since I'm sitting in her honor, maybe I would also bring her beauties to the table to show everybody. So it's up to you. You guys choose which one you want to talk about. Do you want to do the herbs or do you want to do the crystals? Let me know in the comments below. Please. I can't see the comments, so you have to tell me, Marcus, what they say. Okay, well, in that case, I guess I'm going to vote for everybody. Dun, 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 dun. I'm going to show everyone the crystals. Is that what everyone's saying? Or do they want to hear about the herbs? Okay. I'm just going to do a quick little advertisement here for Miss Lunar Queen's beautiful shop she has. Okay, here's the first piece I received today. Isn't this gorgeous? She gave me a little card for each one of them as well, which was really cool. So this one here is called blue calcite. And it's a sphere, so it emanates energy in all directions. And they get little cards with them too, which is really cool. It's for emotional understanding, understanding dreams, expanded awareness. It's blue, and therefore it activates the blue rays, which is like your blue chakras and things like that, like your throat chakra, right?
There we go.
Yeah, it helps to relax and soothe
Yeah, they
the
said
nerves.
crystals.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Its calming effects on the mind allows the user to think about emotional situations with more of a level heart. And this is one of the pieces that I've purchased to use in my practice, my QHHT practice. I've got several different crystals here that I've purchased for that exact reason. So the client can hold this in their hand and have the energy help them achieve their end result, right? So this is one of them. Again, is blue calcite. Okay. Oops. All right. The next one would be, this is one of my favorites too. This one here. It is a septarian heart, and it's a palm stone. So you'd put it in your hand like this. And it's ancient knowledge, sense of purpose, alignment with higher self. Carrying this stone daily will provide a protective shield around one's aura. And then, let's see, it's full of power, like earthy and energy that will help one slowly heal from the inside out. This is also another really powerful stone, especially if you're going through anything like, for example, coming out of a dark night of the soul, or looking at different shadow aspects of yourself in processes of healing. You know, you'd want to have any one of these stones here. Really helpful. Anyway, this is another piece I got from her beautiful shop, which is Organic Essences. You probably find that link below in the description. The next one I got was a lapis lazuli heart. And this is clearly for the throat chakra. Very beautiful. Communication, angelic communication. Lapis lazuli has been viewed as a stone of royalty. So I believe I've heard things about how Egyptian royalty used to have this, you know, quite like on their crown, on their staff, on bits and pieces all around them. So it's been a prized stone for quite a long time. It's very pretty too. Let's see here. Lapis lazuli is a stone that emboldens the communicative abilities between the mind, throat, and heart. One will shortly begin to find themselves radiating the truth of their own emotional body through this stone. Hey, we got one that matches.
We're twins.
Cool. Yeah. Awesome. Okay. Yeah, I highly suggest you guys, if you want to find any crystals, you go to her shop, because it's amazing. The way she's got her website set up is it gives you like a brief little description about each one as well. So you're not just going in there blind. Like, it gives you different categories and different really cool things to help you find the right exact one that you're looking for. So definitely a thumbs up. Okay, the next one is really cool. It's called a Cashapp. This is a Galaxy Rhyolite. This one here is really interesting to me. My dad used to call me Cashapp and used to sing me the song all the time. So this one was chosen from a purely emotional standpoint on my side, but it's actually very cool. It's for transformation. It's for breaking addictions. It's for chakra alignment, astral connection. It will help raise your intuitive level while also allowing you to reimagine and recreate yourself at an interpersonal level. Pretty cool. Anyway, beautiful. Cashapp or Rhyolite. And here's a really cool one too. Jade. So I got a lot of spheres because I have this stand and I'm trying to fill the stand, in case you're wondering. All right, Jade Sphere. Eliminates toxins, transmutation of negative energies. It's really helpful for Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Libra. Jade is also one of the very few stones that will transmute the negative energies surrounding you and release them into positive vibrations. So let's say that in some type of work, whether it be Reiki or whether it be QHHT or some type of energy work, you're helping the client do some shadow work and things like that, and some releases. This would also be very helpful to have around as well. So that was Jade again. So yes, there's many different lovely options she has on her shop, and there's so many more. So I highly encourage you to either, whether it be for yourself or for your practitioner business, either way, go check it out. She's got some really great stuff. And they're going to go in the full moon tonight. So anyway, back to you, Marcus.
Bada boom, bada bing. If you guys look on the screen here, we got organicessence.com, Lunar Queen's crystal shop of the Sacred Kingdom, our community. So you guys can always browse and check it out. I also have on the screen for you guys how it's typed out. Organics with an S on the end, essencellc.com. And you guys can browse any of these crystals that are available. And I'll go ahead and give you guys a little tour. So you can click on any of these: palm stones, spheres, skull shape, towers and generators, clearance, new. And then there is a reward system as well. You can get 50 free points by signing up. And she has many different sizes, varieties. One thing about her is that she makes sure that they have no coloring dye, no added additions to the crystals. They're all pure colored and of their organic essence. So you guys can check this site out anytime. And I will say the prices are amazing. The prices are very affordable, especially for the quality of these kind of crystals and the different shapes that they come in. For example, I'll just go ahead and bring up an example for you guys. This strawberry quartz and smoky quartz 5-inch tower. As you guys see here, it is only $42. And this is a strawberry and smoky quartz combination tower. And if you go to a typical metaphysical shop or jewelry shop, you're probably going to be paying a little bit over close to $100 for something like this. So I just want to share that with you guys. Organicsessence.com, or I should say organicessencellc.com, is where you guys can get any of these crystals that Sarah was just wonderfully presenting for us. So with that, Sarah, I heard that there was something about maybe like an accidental moon tea that you made last night.
Yeah, you heard correct. So I love making sun tea. It's like, I don't know, I've been told it's an old hippie thing, but I don't know if anybody's ever heard of sun tea before, but sun tea is delicious. So sun tea is just simply made in the sun versus on the stovetop, you know? And I love doing it in the summertime because you just, when you're getting ready before you go to work or go out for the day or whatever you're going to do, you just fill up a gallon jug or a gallon and a half jug and make sure it's glass with a little spigot on the side. You've all seen those in stores, right? So fill that up. And then you can make black tea, you can make green tea, you can make chai tea, you can make herbal tea. You can even buy these really cool like herbal / fruit things. You can get a natural grocers or like a packet, and they end up being like Kool-Aid, but they're made of fruit. So you can do all kinds of stuff like sun tea, you know, doesn't have to be tea. So whatever you prefer, you can make it in the sun in a glass jug in your backyard while you're working or doing whatever you're doing. And that's why I love it so much, because it's so super easy and convenient. And it's been said too that you know, you will get the energy of the sun in your tea, which is really rejuvenating for our body and for our frequency and stuff like that. I fully believe that we're children of the sun, personally, children of light. Anyway, yeah, and so I live also, like you said, here in Arizona. We've got plenty of sun. So there's plenty of tea to be made. So yeah, yesterday I was making some hibiscus and cinnamon tea, which is herbal. And I stuck it outside all day long yesterday while I did my thing. And I totally was so exhausted when I got home from work yesterday that I just forgot about it. And yesterday was like the height of the full moon or whatever. And you put your crystals out and stuff like that, in order to get them cleansed and all that good stuff. You could also do a thing like moon water, and you put water outside, then you have the moon light go into it, and it helps like capture the energy of the moon. So anyway, I happened to have that tea outside overnight, and so inadvertently I kind of made sun tea into sun moon tea, moon water tea. And I plan to drink it today. I plan to do a little full moon ritual for myself and just write down a few things that I no longer wish to have in my life, whether that be negative thought patterns or things I'm doing to slow down my own progress. I plan to write those down and then just burn them in my candle tonight. So as I do that, I'll probably just have a cup of that tea as well. But yeah, you're right. I totally accidentally made a sun moon tea. And as far as the herbs I chose hibiscus and cinnamon. It's just a nice and refreshing combination. I think everyone's pretty familiar with hibiscus, right? That's that little red petal that you can make tea out of and stuff. Well, it pairs perfectly with cinnamon. And so that's what I used. And it's also good for the root chakra too, because it's red. So it'd also be like cleansing for the root chakra, as long as you put your intentions in and say, hey, I'd like for this juice to cleanse my root chakra. And each time you take a sip, watch your chakra become more pure red, and watch any like dark colorings just fade away from it as you drink the tea. And that's how you'd intentionally drink the tea if you wanted to help encourage like healing on your root chakra or something like that. So yeah.
Sounds delish.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you typically like to put together or make during the full moon period?
I mean, I think each time's different. I like to. Sometimes they're better than others, of course, because life, like a good friend of ours, Derek Ivey, says life gets lifey. So when your life gets lifey, you forget to do stuff. But even on times where life's really lifey, I like to just at least put my thoughts on, like let's just say that I'm working or something and it's a full moon. What I love to do is just picture myself smiling, picture all the people around me smiling, and picture where I would like to go next. Because if you think of a full moon, you're getting rid of something. So when you get rid of something, you have to put something in its place. So if you were to just quietly take a 5-minute break for yourself and light a candle and get into a comfortable position and just do some similar exercises like he just did with the breathing, and keep yourself focused on your breath. You can reset yourself that way. And so I like to do that a lot. Just a quick 5-minute session with myself, and I just sit there and I close my eyes, and then I picture myself filling up with light from source, and then I just envision what I want. It helps me set my intentions in the right way. Because if you're getting rid of something, you've always got to replace it with something. So I like to do that, at the very least. And if I'm like time poor at that time or something like that, then that's what I'll do, that type of thing. So, or if I'm actually planning an event, I love to get fire involved and stuff like that, like maybe have a bonfire or something like that. Those things are really cool too for full moons.
I agree. Last night, I hosted, I think what is like my fourth or fifth waterfall sound healing therapy.
Nice.
And basically what we did is we got together and we put out a blanket at the park, put some pillows down, bring out some sound tools, some singing bowls, handpan, some chimes, drum, and we journal. And we also do a check-in and a vulnerability intro circle. And with that, we help support each other, reflect, journal. We also did some oracle cards. And then I took us down to the waterfall and
Nice.
played some handpan, a little bit of crown chakra and solar plexus singing bowl, and complemented that with the water in the background to bring therapeutic full moon energy. So I love the different ways that we can utilize and connect during these moon phases to
Mhm.
help basically rebalance the mind, body, and emotions. It's really fascinating.
And you're right. And matter of fact, it's a lot easier than people think, or that sometimes our minds put us up to believing. Like you can even do it in your car. You can just breathe in your car. You don't have to like set a time, like a whole half a day aside. Or when I first got into meditation and stuff, I didn't think I could do it. I thought, there's no way I can do this. My mind is always racing. My mind is always thinking of something. I'm a high-paced person, fast-paced person. There's no way I can do this. And of course, if you tell yourself you can't, you're right. If you tell yourself you can, you're also right. So, either way, that's what I believed it. I didn't think I was a meditator, right? I didn't think the spirituality. I was like, oh, I don't think I can do it right. There's no way you can do it wrong. It comes from your heart. It's your connection to Source God. It's the way you express it. It's the way you observe it. Anyway, the point is that it's really easy. Just tell yourself you're going to give yourself 5 minutes, and just start. And just do something really cool and special to yourself. Whether anybody else thinks it's special or not doesn't matter, as long as it's special to your heart. Right, Marcus? That'll help,
Absolutely.
start the process. These little moments, like, take yourself to the waterfall. You don't have to wait for a big crowd of people. That would even also work too, right?
That's kind of it's kind of how I do it too, is like, I can go to the waterfall and play the singing bowls and the handpan by myself either way. So I was like, you know what? Why not open this up for inviting community to join me while I do it? And then we make it into a community event, basically.
Yeah.
And, I really like to stay that down to earth and that organic about it. I'm not trying to make it into something that is, like a monopoly or something to capture people. I just want to share just beautiful down to earth experiences with people that doesn't require much other than showing up and just being open to being a part of the energy. And I just feel like we need more of that in this world. We've gotten really business oriented and business driven with about everything in this world, even spirituality now. And it's, for me, it kind of dampens the purity of what it is that we're truly doing here and why we've been gifted with the opportunity to even serve as a human being on this planet. And yeah, I'm just really grateful that, you know, we all have our own balance, and I found that balance for me when it comes to what works business wise and what is more of just down to earth, a genuine time. And with that, I wish everybody to find their balance with that and
Mm,
not get over consumed with really either polarity, you know,
yeah.
not getting over consumed by business and not getting over consumed by just giving yourself free.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure. So let's see. I see we have 15 minutes left here. Would you like me to talk a little bit about what Edgar Casey thinks about plants and herbs?
Yes, please.
Okay, I took a few notes here. All right, so I came across a video on YouTube, and it was Edgar Casey, and I think it was 7 different spiritual plants and herbs that he really finds important, I guess, for lack of a better explanation there. And I think maybe we're all familiar with Edgar Casey, but if we're not, he is like, I think he's been called the sleeping prophet, right? He prophesized many different things in life. Offhand, I can't think of anything in particular that he's done, except for he also was into hypnotherapy and things like that as well. He coined a lot of different terms and things as well too. And so in his works, he had visions and dreams. He was a prophet, basically. He saw things. And then so one day he was, I guess, at one period in his life, not one day, but he was investigating herbs and plants and, just kind of observing them. And he learned that there's several that, have a very high significance to helping enhance our frequency or helping, in general. He says that, herbs and plants help with frequency. And of course, all organic things have a vibration that can enhance us as beings, like even down to plants that were made into materials that we wear as clothing. That's also a frequency. Everything in life, we have a frequency. That desk has a frequency. The dog has a frequency. The plants has a frequency. Everything does. I think Nikola Tesla said to understand the universe, think in terms of frequency and vibration. And he said something to that nature anyway. Anyway, yeah, and so it all ties in together. And I just took a few cliff notes here as far as the main bullet points. I would love for you guys to go check out that video. It's about 20 minutes long. You'll absolutely love it. It's very well put together. But there's a few that he talked about. One was sage. A lot of us know sage from spiritual practices, the sage sticks, the sage that you can smudge with. I believe that Native Americans also use a lot of sage in their spiritual and ceremonial practices as well, too. So anyway, he noted that it actually physically cleans the energy and air around anything. If you take sage and you put it around something, you clean the energy and air around that being or that object. You light it up with intention. So that means is like you have a stick, have a lighter, and you say, I intend with lighting the sage that I'm going to fill in the blank, whatever you want to achieve, clean something, clear the air. Let's say you got into a big, huge family fight and the air feels thick and everyone's kind of in a funky mood. Burn some sage. That'll help clean the air, clean it energetically, He also mentioned lavender. It's very good for the pineal gland. Make sure that you have legitimate lavender. There's several different, if you're interested in this topic, make sure to look this up. But there's several different faux lavenders. I forget their name, but they don't smell quite the same. So make sure you have original, organic, fresh, real lavender. And it actually helps open and strengthen the pineal gland. It's good for intuition. It actually helps expand your consciousness. So let's say you're having a hard time. Say you're frustrated and you and a loved one are arguing or something, and you're just There. So put some on right here in your temples, maybe a little bit right here. And breathe in and breathe that smell into your body. And that will actually help clear everything. It helps you expand your consciousness. It's really good for meditation. It actually extends into the soul bodies, which means the energetic bodies outside of our actual body. Remember a few years ago when they said, stay 6 feet apart? Yeah, well, these energy bodies actually go for about 6 feet, ironically, around each one of us. So by us staying 6 feet apart, we do not touch energies. Interesting, right? All right, so the next one he mentioned is aloe vera. And he says that actually and that's the part on the inside, the squishy part, not the outside or the pointy parts. You want to take that off. I could do a video about how to work with aloe vera. We have a lot here in Arizona, but what it does is it actually draws out the toxin from like flesh. And so let's see here, and actually from energy as well. So if say you needed to clean your energy, you could actually put like a tablespoon into your smoothie and blend it up. And by ingesting that, make sure to check for any contradictions before you do that. But if you can do that, if you do that, then you'll notice that it helps you release that negative energy from your body. So it also is good near EMF. So I suppose because it absorbs. It was very predominant in ancient Egypt. From what I understand, it was like around the edges of the doors of buildings and things like that. Actually next to ferns. Ferns were also in ancient Egypt around the entrances of buildings and doors, and it helps to ward off negative energies. But back to my list. Another one he mentioned was holy basil or basil. Very similar in the plant kingdom. They're cousins, basically. It aligns self to abundance and clarity. It resonates with the heart chakra. And it helps provide spiritual vitality to the person. So let's say you want to make some sun tea, okay? And you're not sure what kind. Go buy some holy basil, some herbs, like the loose herbs, and some cheesecloth, and then you can actually make holy basil sun tea in your backyard while you're at work. And then because it helps with your spiritual vitality, you can have a cup of that as you put your feet up before you do your meditation every night. That'd be a really cool thing to do. But yeah, holy basil or basil is very good for those uses. Let's see. This one's really interesting, I thought. And it's about peace lilies. You know, the green plant, the tropical plant that you can find like in your house or wherever, with a little white cup at the top, the peace lilies. Those, yeah. He talks about those, that they're very high in frequency, that they actually promote harmony and balance in the environment that they're in, which is really cool. So let's say you put it in your house. It helps keep the balance of the household energy, and like it says it helps to reduce and helps eliminate conflict. So let's go back to the example we used before of the family who got into a disagreement. If there was a peace lily nearby in the room, that would help like reset the energy. I know it sounds funny, but it's true, right? Like your Casey knew what he was talking about. So it's all very interesting, isn't it? All right. Next one up on the list is called rosemary. Yeah, rosemary, just like the herb we use for seasoning our food or seasoning our Italian dishes. That rosemary, yep. It's called the herb of remembrance. It's actually really good. You may have seen it on social media lately, but rosemary is really good for growing hair and really good for helping brain cells and memory and cognition. That's why it's called the herb of remembrance. It helps the brain and it helps spiritual amnesia as well. It also helps with the memory and remembrance of your true self. That's a pretty deep topic, but yeah. Anyway, if you know somebody who resonates with that, you may want to suggest maybe doing some rosemary and olive oil on the skin or on the hair, because that will be absorbed into the body as well. Or maybe trying to add a little bit more rosemary into your food, into your dietary changes or regime. There you go. That might help. Take someone out of their spiritual amnesia, you know. All right, we got another one left here on the list. Last one that he mentions in the video is a snake plant. And those are those tropical plants you see in houses. And they're like tall and they're kind of variegated and they're all kind of like this to each other. And it says here that it works with spiritual energy at night. It actually helps protect your energy in your home. You're supposed to put them by your doors as well. Just like ferns are also good by the door, like I mentioned earlier. Snake plants and ferns are both good by the door. They also help to prevent an absorption of other people's energy. So I would really highly suggest to have one of those in your space. They're good for healer spaces, like say you have a Reiki lounge or a healing place or something like that. Put some snake plants in the corners or put some peace lilies, in the center of the table or something like that. It'd be really helpful. It also helps filter toxins as well. I think all plants do that, like as far as house plants go, but there's some in particular that have an extraordinary ability to filter toxins and crap like that. So yeah. So to recap, basically he suggests using sage, lavender, aloe vera, basil or holy basil, a peace lily in the house, rosemary, or a snake plant in the house to help better your environment and your energetics all around you. Yeah, that's about it for that one. Anybody have any questions on that?
That was super informal. Thank you for that, Sarah. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, he has a lot of really good knowledge. If you watch the video that we'll provide the link to, you'll find a lot more details. But yeah, it's very interesting. It all makes sense that these herbs and plants possess such power. They don't see and have lungs and heart like we do, but they are alive. They are sentient. Just like animals too, they have a heart and lungs. They're more sentient than the plant. But plants actually are sentient. They can actually, in their own type of way, sense when you're coming. They sense when you're in the room, if you're the owner of them. They've, like I said at the very beginning of this, they have evolved right next to us as humans on this planet. So it makes sense that they mesh so well with our human chemistry and our human biology and stuff like that,
Yep. Because we're all one, right? We're all part of one magnetic field.
Yeah.
Consciousness. And what's so fascinating is that I've been diving into just like the 15-dimensional time matrix and diving into the map of that and how it just talks about the different dimensions of form. And even in the Kabbalion, for those of us that love esoteric knowledge, the Kabbalion, the teachings of Thoth, Hermes, talks about in one of the laws how in the law of correspondence there are multi-dimensional planes that parallel exist, and that within each plane there is different vibrational forms of being depending upon the frequency of the dimension that you're in. And you also learn that every single form that you see here in this third dimension with a physical body, it also has a mental, emotional, and spiritual essence and electromagnetic field that brings consciousness to it, just as we do as human beings. And this goes for the plants, the trees, the elements, the animals, and all of our human brothers and sisters. So it's super fascinating. We dive deep into that esoteric knowledge.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You know, there's even levels within levels. Not to get too deep, but it's like
Yep.
we're in the 3D existence right now, but there's 7 levels to it. And there's 7 levels to 4, and there's 7 levels to 5. But let's just be completely neutral and
The
say there's
micro
many
within the micro.
levels, right? I mean, yeah. That's how somebody can stand right next to me or be down the street from me and have a completely different existence than me. On the same planet. We're walking on the same street, right? That's how it's possible.
Pretty incredible,
someone who's and the thing is too is that I didn't always know this, but it makes so much sense once you learn it. You're like, whoa, oh, that's a really great explanation. Now I understand. Like, what I mean is like the different vibrations. Like, I didn't really even understand a lot about energy truly until maybe 10 years ago. Like, for example, I'm an empath, and working on stretching, strengthening my clairsentience and clairaudience. But most of my life, for 16 years, actually, in my journey, a long time ago, those 16 years ended in 2015, I thought I had anxiety. I was diagnosed by multiple psychiatrists that I had generalized anxiety disorder and that I needed medication for that. But I didn't realize until my awakening and when I stopped taking the pills and everything, I took different things, that those feelings that I was feeling weren't actually anxiety. Those feelings I was feeling were other people's energy. And I had no idea that was even possible. Never had ever heard that, ever. And so I believe it was like the first year of my awakening and new self-exploration journey in 2016 that I came across this word, empath. And I was like, oh, what's that? And I investigated that. And I was like, an empath. Oh, it's a common thing. What is this? Oh, somebody that feels other people's emotions. What? Wait a minute. What? I had no idea that even existed. Then that's when I put the pieces together. I was like, wait a minute. Are you talking about all these energies I've felt my whole life aren't actually mine? Whoa. That was a mind blower right there. So if there's anybody else out there that heard that right now or will hear it in the future and you resonate with that, just know that maybe your anxiety is deeper than you thought it was. Maybe you're feeling other people's energy and you're not realizing it. Check into it. I know it's really helped me understand a lot about myself and the things that I experience on a day-to-day basis. So, yeah. Anyways, talking about frequencies. Energies and emotions are frequencies too, right?
Absolutely. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for hopping in for Lunar Queen tonight and sharing this wonderful variety of knowledge and tools for us between, the herbs, Edgar Casey's point of view, as well as the other wonderful discussions, such as the teas and the different things that help complement our well-being. And again, I just want to say, thank you for stepping up tonight. And
Yeah, sure.
also, again, I'm proud of you for the steps that you've taken in your life and your growth along your journey.
Thanks, Marcus. I appreciate that. I really encourage everyone to just go for it. If you're curious about something, go learn about it. Why not?
I agree. I feel like for our own stuff, how something can be for us if we don't at least try it once or at least experience it for ourselves. Someone can tell us about it, someone can tell us about their experience, but they are not us. They're not who we are individually as a completely blueprinted, unique individual that's going to have your own signals, your own processes, your own makeup to digest the information and energy that comes through your field. So why not try it out for yourself? See if your senses, see if your mental health, see if your emotional state, see if your physical being resonates with these things that we talk about, because it's going to be not a one size fits all. For some people, only herbs is what resonates for their body. For some people, they have a hard time with herbs, so they have to lean on a little bit more pharmaceutical. And for some, it's a little bit of a balance of everything.
You're absolutely right.
So again, just try it for yourself. You just really never know what could happen.
There is actually
And
a
after
period.
the break, around 8 p.m. Eastern time, we will be having our... Go ahead. It's like lagging and stuff.
No, it's okay. Go ahead. I said that like a minute ago.
That's so funny.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so here in just a few minutes, we're going to take a break, and Jess Sage will be joining us, our final member of the kingdom, for this wonderful event tonight. And Jess will be leading and guiding a heart activation to help us in this full moon energy. So with that, thank you, Sarah, for joining us again. And we're going to go ahead and hop off the screen. Everybody feel free to take a break, use the restroom, hydrate, grab some more crystals or whatever you may feel in this moment, and get ready for a heart activation from Jess Sage of Akuna's Dream.
Get your tickets now for a rare, one-of-a-kind, multi-dimensional Lionsgate 8/8 retreat coming up in Sedona, Arizona at Camp Avalon, hosted by Marcus Christolight of Sacred Light from 8/6 to 8/9. Experience the powerful Lionsgate 8/8 portal, amplified by Sedona's legendary vortex energy. This retreat is your chance to align mind, body, and spirit during a time of deep awakening and transformation. Join Christolight for chakra balancing, Sarah for herbalism, Yuga for qigong, Aliyah for ecstatic dance, and Cher for orgonite technology, plus more healing flow shops with expert guides. Enjoy hiking Sedona's stunning landscapes, nourishing plant-based meals, and camping under the stars with a conscious community. Step into a safe, sacred space to connect, heal, and discover your multidimensional self. Embrace self-empowerment, vulnerability, and community as you shed old layers and awaken to your highest potential. Tickets: $188 for 1 day, $333 for 2 days, or $444 for all 3 days. Payment plans available. Register now with the link in the description or text Marcus at 513-238-5580 to reserve your spot.
Step into a sacred space of nature, wisdom, and community at the Ascended Masters Nature Retreat, August 15th to 17th. That's the power of connecting with Ascended Masters in a supportive community. If you're seeking that kind of profound spiritual experience, join us for the Ascended Masters Nature Retreat this August 15th through 17th in the beautiful Zaleski State Forest near Hocking Hills, Ohio. This 3-day camping retreat, hosted by Marcus, Christolight of Sacred Light, offers a unique opportunity to connect with the energies of Ascended Masters, including Saint Germain, Kuan Yin, Yeshua, El Morya, and more. Participate in flow shops focused on mind-body emotion alignment, crystal healing, and working with different rays or flames of light. Enjoy the nature center, beach and lake activities, and hiking trails during your free time. All plant-based meals are provided. Tickets: 1 day for $55, 2 days for $99, or all 3 days for $122. Register now with the link in the description or visit Sacred Light Retreats. Spaces are limited. Questions? Text Marcus Christolight at 513-238-5580.
All right. Grand day, everybody, and welcome back from our break. So, again, I just want to thank you all for tapping and tuning in to this first ever live stream of the community space. And with that, we are going to go ahead and transition into our final member of the Sacred Kingdom, who is going to be holding sacred space tonight, and that is Jess Sage of Akuna's Dream. Welcome back, Jess. I'm going to go ahead and hand it on over to you to take over.
All right. So we are going to do a heart activation. As I kind of mentioned in the beginning of this live stream, our heart is a portal. And to me, what that means is that it is a portal into a different way of being, into embodying love, into being love. So this group, this community is called Sacred Kingdom. And I believe, and this is said in the Bible as well as other religious texts, that the kingdom of God is within. So if the kingdom of God is within, if it's in our mind, if it's within our own being, then the gateway to that inner kingdom is the heart. And in certain Christianity text, Jesus, Yeshua, is referred to as the gateway. And what Yeshua really embodied was unconditional love, even as he was being murdered and betrayed by people who were supposed to be his friends and who were supposed to be his loved ones. When those people betrayed him and when he was murdered, what did he say? He said, "Forgive them. Forgive them, for they know not what they do," because he knew that people can only cause harm to another from a place of ignorance. They don't know what they're doing. They don't realize the harm that they're causing because their minds are in a different consciousness, a different level of consciousness. My dogs are doing something crazy outside. I swear, every time I try to hop on a live stream, I'll put them outside to try to keep them behaved, and they'll still be crazy. Let me just peek out the window. Wow, I don't really know what they're doing out there. I don't know how that chair flung over there like it did. I might have to check on them here in a minute, but we're going to continue for now. They seem okay. So, first, I just want you to bring your awareness to your heart by placing your hands on your heart. So placing your hands on your heart, and if you want to, you can close your eyes, allow your eyes to gently close, allow your chin to softly drop down towards your chest. Maybe you even feel your heart beating under your hands. And just allow yourself to think about what it is that I've said about the heart so far, that it is a gateway, that it is a gateway into the kingdom within. That our heart is a portal into being the love that we inherently are. Our heart is a portal of transformation. And with your hands still over your heart, I want you to imagine a line being drawn from your heart out to each shoulder, down each arm, past each elbow, past each forearm, and into the hands, into every finger. Seeing that our arms, our hands, they are an extension of our heart. Do all things with love. When we're preparing our food, think about sending love into the food by visualizing love streaming from your heart, down your arms, out your hands, and into the food. When you're touching another person, whether it be shaking their hand or giving a hug or even just a fist bump or a high five, any way that our arms and hands touch and wrap around another person, you can visualize love flowing from you to them. And whether you visualize it or not, know that it is happening. Know that this is happening. And now, bringing your awareness to the rest of your physical body, feeling into the lower half of your body and feeling up into your head, feeling all sides of your body, front, back, left, and right. And you can visualize love flowing from your heart to every part of your physical body. This visualization can be anything that you want it to be. It can be a color, it can be a symbol. You can visualize it as any texture, any shape. You can see this energy of love flowing from your heart all through your body as flowers or butterflies or light. There's no right or wrong here. Just visualize love flowing from your heart through your whole body, circulating. Love is circulating all around you, all through you. And now bringing your awareness back to your heart center, back to where your hands are over your heart. Your eyes can stay closed if that feels right for you. Chin slightly bowed down towards the chest in reverence and honor. Allow yourself to honor your own heart. Your heart has its own story. Each and every one of our own hearts has its own story. We have all lived through our own life experiences. You have lived through the good, the bad, and everything in between. All the highs and lows and everything that you personally have experienced in your lifetime. Your heart has its own story. In this moment, allow yourself to honor the story of your holy heart. And know that your heart is holy. Your heart is whole. Even when we have experienced heartbreak and heartache, even when we have experienced trauma and terrible things that have happened to us, and even when we have done terrible things, our heart is always whole. We are always holy. Allow your eyes to gently open. And now I invite you to keep your hands on your heart, but begin to tap. Little taps. Little taps. You can start to tap under the collarbone, going from the center and then out towards the shoulders and then back in towards the center again. And we'll keep tapping for a little bit longer. And so as we're tapping into the heart. Allow your taps to slow down. And now I want you to begin to make a clockwise circle with your fingertips. And because my camera is front facing, then the image may be reversed from what you're seeing. But just go in a clockwise motion over your heart. Your touch can be gentle It doesn't need to be very firm or deep. It can just be light and gentle. We'll keep making these clockwise rotations for a little bit longer, staying in tune with the breath. And now just letting the palm rest over the heart center and another palm rest there. Take a deep breath in through the nose. On the exhale, sigh it out. Now we're going to do a few more breaths like that, and I really want you to sigh it out and make an ah sound. A-H, ah. That is a sound of the heart. So as we say ah, let the shoulders fall down, let the body be softened, let the face soften. And if you're carrying any grief in your heart, know that it's okay to grieve. We must grieve. Any sorrow that we have to honor it and we have to grieve it. But also know that we're not meant to hold on to our sorrow. We are not meant to hold on to our grief. We are meant to let all emotions and all feeling states are meant to be experienced, and then we let them flow through us. And using the breath as a tool to release grief is from traditional Chinese medicine, as grief is associated with the lungs, but grief is also associated with the heart, because sometimes people can even die of a broken heart. People who have been married for a really long time, when one person dies, the next dies shortly after, because they loved them so deeply and they were so connected that their heart just gave out from the grief of losing that person. So let us honor our grief, let us honor our losses that we have all experienced in this life, and let us know that we don't have to carry that heaviness with us. We can let that heaviness out, and this is just one tool to do it. But we're going to use the breath. We'll take several deep breaths together, letting go of any heaviness. Let the body soften with each exhale. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Breath in. Keep breathing. Now I want us to keep breathing, and I want your breath to make any audible sound that feels right for you. So you can continue to sigh it out with an ah, you can just have a heavy or any other audible exhale that feels right for you. You can also purse the lips and blow like you're blowing out a candle and go. So however you would like to exhale, it is now up to you on what feels right. But we're going to change a little something about how we're doing this breath work, and that's going to be our hand movements. So instead of keeping our hands still on our heart, as we breathe in, bring your hands to your heart, symbolizing that we are breathing in love. As you exhale, push your hands out away from your chest, symbolizing and signifying that we are sending love out into the world. As you breathe, I'm going to say a few affirmations, but first we're just going to breathe together and do the hand movements, and then I'll bring the affirmations in as we do this. So let all your air out, and then deep breath in through the nose. Every breath love flows in. Love flows out. Every breath, love flows in. Love flows out. Every breath, love flows in. Love flows out. Love within. Love all around. As within, so without. Love flows in. Love flows out. As within, so without. Love within. Love all around. Love within. Love all around. Love within. Love all around. The hands come to rest back on the heart. And now I want you to just observe how you feel. How do you feel after having intentional breath and connecting to the heart? How do you feel when you hear those words, love within, love all around? Now I want you to keep one hand over your heart and bring one hand to your forehead. If you don't like the feeling of having your hand on your forehead, you can also put it on the crown of your head. It's whatever feels best for you. But I really like to place my hand on my forehead as it connects me to my third eye. Allow the eyes to close, the physical eyes to close again, if that feels safe and right for you. And now I want you to visualize the whole world, the whole earth. Whether that's seeing it from a bird's eye view, zoomed out really far away, or whether you're just visualizing different places and different people, different ethnicities and different cultures, different lands and landscapes. However you choose to see the whole world and the whole earth, just allow that visualization to play out in your mind. And now, visualize divine love pouring into your whole being. Divine love filling you up. Divine love overflowing from you. Divine love radiating from your whole being now. Divine love radiating from your whole being now, radiating out across the whole world. Visualize yourself radiating divine love to the whole earth. See yourself radiating love to the earth herself. See yourself radiating love to all the people, animals who walk the earth, to all the plants growing upon the earth. Visualize sending love to all of life. Bring both hands back to the heart now. Always remember that you are loved. You are loved, and you are love. No matter who you are, no matter what you have done, no matter what has been done to you, you are loved, and you are love. Your heart is holy. Your heart is whole. You are sacred. You are divine. Together we are remembering oneness. Remembering. Meaning again. Member, meaning part of. Remember. Becoming part of again. We are remembering oneness. We are becoming part of oneness again. We were never truly separate, but in our perceived separation, we are remembering oneness. One love flows through all things. One love flows through all life. One love flows through us. You, me, everybody. We are remembering. We are loving each other back into wholeness, back into oneness. This is sacred work. So in this moment, allow yourself to be filled with gratitude. Be filled with gratitude for your life. Be filled with gratitude for yourself, for making time for yourself, for making time for your own healing, and be filled with gratitude for yourself, because not only are you making time for your own healing, but by doing so, you're helping to heal the collective and raise the vibration of the planet. And that is powerful. You are powerful. Allow yourself to feel empowered. Allow gratitude to wash over you. Allow harmony to wash over you. Allow your eyes to softly open if they aren't already. And remember, you are loved and you are love. We are the love together. Together, we rise up in love. That concludes our heart activation for this full moon gathering. And if you want to continue to do this practice, you can do heart activation anytime, any place, and no one even has to know that you're doing it besides you. All you have to really do is bring your awareness to your heart center, connect your mind to your heart, and there's so many ways to do that. You can just do it within your own mind, but you can also do it by placing the hands. You can place the hands here. You can place the hands here. There's no right or wrong. There's no rule book. It's simply what you feel in the moment. You can be standing in line at the grocery store or in some other public space, and you can be tuning into your heart, and you can be focusing on your breath, imagining that with every breath, you're breathing in love and you're sending love out to the world. You can be walking through a public space or walking through the grocery store, standing in line somewhere, and you can visualize love radiating from your being to everyone that is in that space, as if you're just shining a light onto them, because you are. Energetically, you are. And you can do this for any specific place that you find yourself in, but you can also visualize sending it to the whole world, or if you know that there is a place somewhere on the earth that is facing hardship or is going through a hard time of some kind, then you can send love to that place as well. Know that your mind is very powerful, and through quantum physics, we are learning more and more about the quantum web of life, the quantum realm, and the quantum realm is really a place where anything is possible, and it also begins to show us how everything really truly is connected. So we are connected to every living being on earth. We are connected to every living being in the cosmos, in all of existence, through all planes and dimensions. We are all connected to everything. So when each one of us chooses to vibrate as love, that that vibration is going through everything. Just like a stone being thrown into water, those ripples reach the edge eventually. And so know that your heart is a powerful light source. Allow your heart to shine brightly. And as always, I love you. That is all I have to share for this little gathering for tonight. Thank you, Marcus. And I will hand it back over to you.
I just want to say thank you very much, Jess. That was a beautiful and powerful heart activation. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back, Sarah.
Thank you. Thank you, Jess. It was very beautiful.
Thank you.
I incorporated my brand new jade.
Love it. Yeah.
So, as we still have a half hour left of this space that we can work with, I just wanted to open up this field for anybody that's in the comments that would like to ask questions. If there's anybody that would like to receive any support directly from one of us, feel free to put in the comments. And then also, if anybody has any announcements between yourself, Sarah, between you, Jess, you guys have any announcements about upcoming events, upcoming spaces that you're holding, anything of that nature, feel free to use this space to share that and also help people remember as well where they can connect with you.
All right, I'll go ahead and go real quick. So again, I'm Akuna's Dream on social media and YouTube, and I have my events on my Facebook page, but I also have graphics that I post. So you can find graphics on my Instagram and I think like TikTok as well. And I host sound baths multiple times a month at different locations. So there's a place called Temple of the Rebel Goddess that is located in Dayton, Ohio. I do a donation-based sound bath with gentle yoga and guided meditation. That happens on the second Tuesday of every month. And then that's the only one that's on the same day of the month. Every month. The other ones are a little bit more sporadic, but there's a yoga studio in Lebanon, Ohio called the Green Lotus Yoga Studio, and I do a sound bath there monthly. Those ones are usually on Friday nights, and the day of the month just kind of changes. And then there's a place in Bellbrook, Ohio called Gym City Holistic Wellness, and I do a monthly sound bath there, and those are usually on Thursday nights, but not every Thursday night. That's also once a month. And then the last thing I'd like to plug for now is there's a community in Oregonia, Ohio called One Earth Collaborative. They have a land preserve, a land sanctuary, and it's right on the Little Miami River. Anyone is welcome to be part of that community. You can find them on Facebook. You just search One Earth Collaborative. And if you have a hard time finding it, then find me on Facebook and I'll send you the link to join. But I offer things there that are donation based, but also lots of other people offer things that are donation there as well. So there's tons of things happening there on that land. It's always donation based. There's a community garden, playing in the river. The only time that things cost money there are like a set amount is when they rent kayaks. And then of course it's just the kayak rental fee, which is about $25 a person. But other than that, everything is always just on a donation. And it's really beautiful land where you can connect to nature and just connect with your inner child and be in a really positive, healing community.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. You have some amazing events. I've seen a few advertisements on your Facebook. And
Thank you.
oh, I would love to go to all of them.
Thanks.
I highly encourage everyone to check it out.
I've been a part of some spaces with Jess, and she definitely brings some really good pure heart energy for you guys out there. And she's really well with the sound healing as well. So I would definitely recommend it. I know me myself, I'm going to try to make it out there to some of those Tuesday events. I was trying to go last month, but things were just blown as they were, and I definitely plan on making it out to one of those.
Thank you.
As far as
So Sarah, is there anything else that you would like to share as well for the collective?
Yes. Yes, there is. As I mentioned earlier, I am just now beginning my journey as a QHHT practitioner and healer. And I have an opportunity for anybody who's interested in that type of thing to reach out to me via Messenger. There should be a link probably below. And connect with me, and we'll chat about doing some sessions together. It's a very unique opportunity right now, as at this point it is basically just I would maybe say heart-based donation, and that would be just donating your energy. If you're a practitioner, we could exchange modalities. That would be really awesome. But basically, I am this close to graduating with my certification, and so I just need a few more practice hours. And by saying practice, that kind of sounds bad as far as discrediting, but it's just the same thing. So basically, if anybody's interested here in getting a QHHT, reach out to me, because I would be happy to do this with you.
Exchange with you.
Oh, you? Oh, yes, let's do it. That'd be awesome. Yeah, have you ever done one before?
I've never done the QHHTs at the quantum hypnosis
Mm-hmm.
thing, or what is
Mm-hmm.
what that, but I do Reiki and kind of my own little version of intuitive energy healing. But I have never experienced what you're doing, so I am interested.
Yeah, it's really amazing. You can do so many cool things, like, you can resolve so many different issues. You can speak with your higher self. You can resolve, personal habits that you wish to choose. You can resolve even relationships with others by speaking with your higher self, having it speak with their higher self. And I'd be the facilitator of that, So there's all kinds of different things you can do. And it's really a neat thing. So I would love to give you a session or 2 or 3.
Yeah, I've done a little bit of guided meditation where I'm like connecting to my higher self, and then also where my higher self with another person's higher self, so I was like having a conflict with, and this guy a visualization, and that was really powerful, and it actually did help, like what the other person's higher self said they needed, what they needed, and so it actually gave me some insight, and like, why are we in conflict, why are we not seeing eye to eye, and I was able to, and from a different perspective, from a higher perspective, because I allowed myself to get in tune with my own higher self, and I allowed myself to be open to what their higher self might have.
Yep.
And that really did help at that time when I was having that conflict with that person. So I'm definitely a believer in that ability to tap into that space. Yeah.
Well,
that ability.
People go through that moment of, I guess, that moment right before you fall asleep, in that moment, right when you wake up, is that same energy space where you'd want to achieve, during your session. And it's very easy to do on Zoom. Oops, as my light goes out. Because energy knows no space, it'll travel. So it just matters that the people have full intentions and are focusing on the same thing, basically. So yeah.
Yeah, I call my energy healing session a quantum healing session, and that was before I'd ever heard of anything else called someone even told me, like, oh, is that the quantum hypnosis? And I was like, no, I don't know what that is. And it was before I'd heard of that. And I say that the reason why I call my session a quantum healing session is because the quantum realm is that realm where anything is possible. It is that web of connection between all things. And so when we're tapping into the quantum realm, it's like it transcends time and space. It transcends all things, all the limitations that we perceive in the physical realm. Those things go out the window, and now we're getting into a space where miracles can happen. And it's really powerful when we allow ourselves to go into that space, whether we're working with a practitioner or whether we're in our own personal practice. I think that's where we can really see some big positive changes where maybe maybe we feel stuck or something, and then that's where we get those breaks.
Oh yeah, completely agree. Yeah, very well said too.
Thank you. Yeah.
Wow. Thank you, sisters, so much for sharing and expressing here tonight. With that being said, I think we can honestly go ahead and close out a little bit early and just call it a night for this space. I think we definitely delivered the divine magic that was needed for this moment, and I trust that we all did it very well together. And I thank you guys again.
It was an honor to be with you all tonight.
Thank you very much. It was an honor indeed. Thank you.
Thank you guys. And we will definitely be continuing to create and cultivate more online spaces for you guys for free online live streaming from our Sacred Kingdom community so that you guys can be a part of the things that we're cultivating together, as well as pick up on more tools, knowledge, and wisdom for your everyday life, not only for yourself, but for your children, for your family, for your loved ones, for community, and all of us here on this planet. May we continue to open our hearts. May we continue to find compassion for each other and just help each other where we can. And just know that we are in this together and we share this planet, and we're going to have to go through these motions as one, whether we want to resist or accept. We are here together in these human costumes, and we're sharing these moments. So thank you guys again. Happy full moon, and reach out if you have questions. And then also I want to pull up onto the screen, if it will. I honestly don't even know if the internet will allow me at this point. I'm not even going to attempt to, actually. I was going to pull up the Sacred Kingdom site, but I'll go ahead and put it on the screen for you guys just so you can see how you can access our community site. And this community site is basically like a catalog, and it's a link page. And on this link page, you guys can basically see a nice organized row of all of the different beautiful practitioners that we have that have websites or social link for you guys to connect with. So as you guys see on the screen, it is li.sten.to /sacred kingdom. So that's listen.to /sacred kingdom. And you want to add those periods as well when you type that in. So it'll pull up a list of our sites for you guys to directly go to. You can freely browse at your own leisure any of our sites. We have Allie's crystal store on there. We have Jess's website, my link page, as well as our retreats and much more on there. And you guys can check this out anytime. You guys can share this with anyone, and you guys can book and browse the various services that we all offer directly one-on-one through our different links. So enjoy and allow yourselves to really soak in the gratitude and the love that was shared in this space tonight. And may the energy that we cultivated continue to ripple forward as we continue on with our days into this weekend. And I thank you guys again. And for anybody else out there that hears this last minute, this is the last night, and I'll give you guys even the early rising if you're a veteran that is active or non-active to join us tomorrow and Sunday for the first ever Holistic Veterans Retreat in Loveland, Ohio. Reach out if you have questions. I'd love to see you guys. Wholeness and balanced love.